Film opens up by showing two stranded young men named Shin and Pyo, who have recently been purchased by an elderly person named Uncle to act as slaves. In spite of having an extreme life, they attempt to get by and care for one another. They even have a similar energy and dream to become one of the extraordinary commanders after they saw the significance of the general named General Aoki in their extra time. Subsequent to social affair wood and cleaving logs, Shin and Pyo would rehearse together in the center of the timberland utilizing wooden blades they had made themselves. Throughout the long term, they have consistently prepared together to work on their battling abilities and train their nimbleness. In the wake of rehearsing consistently, they develop into capable fighters and extraordinary warriors. That day, when they were preparing together a general named trimming tool in addition to blade battling expertise and lauded it. The following day General Chang came to Uncle Wa's house and informed him that the imperial party was leading enrollment to assemble illustrious warriors from different areas. What's more, the reason for him coming to see Uncle is to ask consent with the goal that he is permitted to carry Po to the realm, to be prepared as one of the extraordinary warriors of the realm. In spite of the fact that Shin doesn't get a similar open door as Po, he is content with the deal and supports Pyo in accomplishing his fantasy. That evening, before they headed out in different directions, Strip and Shin rehearsed blade battling one final time and guaranteed each other to keep chasing after their fantasies. Not set in stone to prepare more diligently so he can find Po to turn into an illustrious fighter and be one bit nearer to their fantasy about turning into an extraordinary general. Before very long, Shin started to prepare all the more tirelessly in the slope pack and further develop his blade procedure. His thorough preparation demonstrated to have fundamentally worked on his ability to battle after he could undoubtedly break a rock with his wooden blade. A couple of days after the fact, when he was resting in his hideaway, cottage Shin was shocked by police appearance, who was genuinely harmed in his withering state. Strip makes sense of that there has been an upset in the realm where the more youthful sibling of the Supreme Lord has sent somebody to kill the ruler. What's more, in that mayhem, Pyo was forfeited by regal authorities by designating him to profess to be the ruler before he died. He requested Shin to go to a town contained in the guide he had brought. He makes sense of that Shin will require a military in the town that can prepare him to turn into a more grounded warrior. That evening, Shin ran extremely quick toward the town that Pyo had told. Yet, coming, he was encircled by a gathering of hooligans. So he needed to battle against them. No passing. Luckily, with the concentrated preparation he had experienced this time, he could undoubtedly overcome every one of the individuals from the hooligan bunch without help from anyone else. Subsequent to proceeding with the excursion, Shin at last showed up at the objective town and found a little cabin occupied by a lord named Jin who had taken off from the realm. Ruler Shin then clarified for Shin that overall Chiang had intentionally carried Po to the realm since he had a face that was basically the same as him. They needed to misdirect the regal authorities who had sold out and organized an upset with his more youthful sibling named Sovereign Akio. Then again, the illustrious armed force troops come to Uncle Wa's house and track down Powell's dead body. A general named Ji, an assistant of Sovereign Skia, understood that the individual he had recently killed was not Lord Jin, but rather an everyday person named Po. In the interim, Shin, who currently realizes that the realm has bamboozled and penance, Pyo feels exceptionally furious at ruler Jin. During the discussion, a professional killer sent by Sovereign Skia unexpectedly showed up in their cabin and expected to kill Lord Jin. The professional killer impelled Shin to kill ruler Jin since he and other regal authorities had killed Pyo. Yet, rather than paying attention to the professional killer's words, Shin went after and killed him since he thought that the professional killer was the person who killed Pyo. After a furious fight with different dangerous assaults, he at long last figured out how to kill the professional killer. After the battle, he got back to Lord Qin and communicated his dissatisfaction since he actually couldn't acknowledge Strip's passing. In any case, ruler Jin attempted to come in and said that every one of the enduring individuals experienced was a penance to save the whole realm. Lord Shin made sense of that he needed to remain alive so illustrious power wouldn't fall under the control of his more youthful sibling, who was extremely awful and degenerate. Since, in such a case that occurred, the realm would be obliterated. Lord Jin then tempted Shin to go along with him to frame another military and recover ruler Psychos so that Strip's penance and demise wouldn't be to no end. Then again, ruler Skia felt extremely frustrated and furious subsequent to getting the news that Lord Shin was as yet alive. He then, at that point, requested his accessories to send more professional killers to chase down his more established sibling. The following day, when Lord, Endlessly Shin were strolling through the timberland, they were out of nowhere gone after by a professional killer who utilized a toxic substance needle weapon. Shin battled against the professional killer until he figured out how to slice the man's head with a blade. Dos Santos. That a person who, after effectively killing the man, he unexpectedly fell and started to black out because of the toxin needle hitting his body. Luckily, Ruler Qin figured out how to save Shin and breastfed him until he recuperated. At the point when Shin had awakened from his rest, they were shocked by the presence of a gathering of Imperial warriors who burst into their concealing spot. Luckily, the regal armed force was a military under Broad Chiang, who is as yet faithful to Lord Qin. In the wake of proclaiming his commitment to Ruler Qin, General Chiang assisted him with contriving a methodology to recover the regal high position from sovereign intelligence level. Then again, in spite of the fact that ruler level of intelligence actually has not prevailed with regards to killing Lord Qin, he chooses to announce himself the new ruler before the whole multitude of the realm. In the interim, Lord Jin felt cynical in light of the fact that he just had a military undeniably not exactly the illustrious armed forces. Hearing this, one of the commanders encouraged him to meet the mountain clans and ask them for help in framing a bigger armed force partnership. Knowing this, Ruler Qin concurred and promptly requested the whole armed force to leave for the mountain ancestral region. Subsequent to going through a long excursion with different testing ways, Lord Qin and his military showed up at the line locale of the mountain clans. In any case, after showing up there, they were not gotten all right by the mountain ancestral soldiers and were rather kidnapped by them. In the wake of being before the head of the mountain clan, Ruler Qin conveyed his aim that he requested that the mountain clan assist him with recovering the illustrious lofty position that had tumbled to his more youthful sibling. Hearing this, the mountain clan pioneers rejected his solicitation since they had been deceived by the imperial partners, killing numerous mountain clan troops. Lord Qin would have rather not surrendered with such ease, so he was sorry to every one of the individuals from the mountain clan for the missteps made by the past regal authorities. Hearing the genuineness of his statement of regret, the mountain clan pioneer chose to pardon him and assist him with recovering the illustrious high position. The mountain tribesman will align with his military to attack and go after the regal royal residence. From that point onward, Ruler Qin and the others started planning to go after the illustrious powers from different bearings. He would send Shen and General Chang as the head of the main armed force, while he would camouflage himself as an individual from the mountain clan and become the head of the subsequent armed force, alongside the mountain clan and mountain clan pioneer. The following day, after the multitude of the mountain clan and the multitude of Lord Qin showed up in the realm, the head of the mountain clan met the commandant of the realm and said that her soldiers would enlist in the multitude of Ruler Six's realm. Hearing the well-meaning goals of the mountain clans, the illustrious leader permitted the mountain clan troops to enter the realm. All things considered, the mountain tribesmen and Ruler Chen's military had effectively placed the realm, and they promptly went after the multitude of fighters protecting the entryway. From that point forward, Lord Qin requested Shin and the principal armed force to go through the mystery course, while he and the subsequent armed force would go after through the primary course with the mountain clan pioneer. An epic fight before long started with the mountain clan troops going after the realm's protection officers. With the assistance of the mountain clan's battling capacities and actual strength, Ruler Qin figured out how to overcome the greater part of the illustrious warriors. Then again, Shin and the principal armed force needed to battle against a powerful Goliath beast to invade the mysterious entry. Albeit the soldiers at first appeared to experience issues overcoming the beast, Shin at long last figured out how to kill the beast with an extremely strong blade strike. The news. After that, Shin and the primary crew figured out how to get inside the illustrious royal residence to kill ruler Seiko. In any case, Sovereign Seiko egotistically passed on loosened up on the high position while calling to quite possibly of the most grounded general in the realm, General G. Shin was tested to a one-on-one duel with General G, and he acknowledged the demand decisively. The fight between them was extremely savage on the grounds that the two of them had exceptionally incredible blade battling abilities. Notwithstanding, Shin had a lot more grounded soul and assurance than General G. So eventually, Shin was the person who won the duel. Then in the good think. No dice, Sorgan. You're not there, sir. See who could you at any point make out? Subsequent to seeing General dead before him, Sovereign Mind chose to take off from the royal residence. However, before the royal residence in True Ways, he was at that point encompassed by Ruler Sovereign and the Mountain Clan armed force. Lord Shin didn't require a lot of work to battle against Ruler intelligence level since he could undoubtedly overcome him with one hit. Not long after, General Aoki, the most grounded general of the adjoining realm, came to Ruler Jin and inquired as to why he faced the conflict. Lord answered that he needed to recover the regal high position so illustrious power wouldn't be manhandled by imperial tricksters. He expects to join every one of the realms in Japan to make equity and harmony for all realms. Hearing his clarification, General Aoki consented to his desires and vowed to assist him with wiping the slate clean. In any case, one of the imperial commanders, still faithful to Sovereign Dikyo, couldn't acknowledge Lord's triumph and promptly requested his soldiers to go after Broad Aoki and Ruler Jin. Be that as it may, with full certainty, General Aoki could undoubtedly overcome every one of the fighters with a solitary assault. Seeing this,